Hey, how's it going? So, I have good news and some not so good news. The good news is Artifact Hunter, this class has been rare for a long time, is coming back. It's going to be available in the Black Friday chest or separately for, here's the bad news, 2000 ACs and with no way of farming it, which is odd because originally the class was very easy to farm. It was a birthday class. In the past, birthday classes were rare and they were very easy to farm. Now, birthday classes are not rare, which is good, and they're usually pretty time consuming to farm relatively to how they used to be at least. So, it's paid only, and I thought I'd make a video showing the class and what you'd use it for before you spend your money on it. That's the point of this video. So, let's get into it. Here's the tweet, if you don't want to take my word for it, that it will be available for 2000 ACs and only 2000 ACs. So yeah, it kind of sucks. I think they really should add a farming variant to it, even if they want to make it more of a modern birthday class farm, where it does take more time than it did originally, way back when. I still think it should be available to farm whenever, but it looks like it's being seasonal for 2K AC, which, you know, I guess you gotta live with that. Okay, so the class will be 2K AC. Is it worth the roughly $10-ish, depending on, you know, what pack you buy or whatever, but is it worth that? So, no, not really. If you could farm this class, I would say farm it if you want it as a fun PvP class. But if you're spending money, unless you just want the class to have the class, you know, which those people probably don't even care about watching a video like this anyway, then there's really no reason to have this class. There's no thing that it does better than anything else in the game. It doesn't really have a niche. The only niche it has is PvP. And for certain, for what do you call it? Like, for the fact that the PvP's all been scaled up with the PvP trinkets and all that are 10k HP, it doesn't really do that well in PvP these days either. So the shield reflect thing is the one really cool skill it has for PvP. And that doesn't even work anymore as well as it did back in the day. So this will use your armor, and that deflects a portion of your opponent's attack back at them and improves your resistance by 80%. So what this skill text doesn't tell you is that it caps. There's a cap on the amount of damage you can reflect back. That cap is around 2500-ish, maybe 2800, but it's pretty low. So if someone's doing like a 10k crit to you, you're only given a portion of that damage back. So it's not that great against someone that has 10,000 HP. You're not going to be one-hitting reflect back. Now you do get 6 seconds of the reflect, so they kind of just have to not hit you for 6 seconds. If they see that, they could end up killing themselves still with a higher PvP health amulet, but I don't see that happening really these days. I think the class is in a probably the worst state it has ever been in for PvP at the moment. Its other skill, this will be a heal, which is nice. I'll use it here so you can see. So yeah, 800 HOT, at level 100 enhancements, all luck enhancement, forge on everything, and smite on weapon. So that's my enhancement loadout for this, and then normal luck on the actual class itself. I'm pretty sure, yeah, at 100 too. So yeah, that's the enhancement loadout. So this one will do has a chance for stun, which is really good. So also a PvP. The one class I would closely relate this to is Alpha Omega. If you ever use that class, it's kind of like a different variant of Alpha Omega. It's just a PvP class. You're not going to be using this for anything else. So if you're spending your 2k AC, don't expect anything more. This has a dot on it, which is pretty cool. I'll show you that. So 480 dot, not too shabby by today's standards, really bad by the standards of when this was released, very good. So yeah, this was one of my favorite classes at one point for PvP. Let's use all the skills here, show you what that does. Now your fifth skill does have a chance of doing one of two different things on it. It can either trigger Doom, which increases your damage output by 40%, strength by 30, and crit chance by 15, or Destiny, which gives you a large HOT, increasing your intellect by 30 and haste by 15. So I don't know what the chance of one or the other to triggering. It might be 50-50, it might be 30-70, who knows? They don't really give you those numbers. I wish they did. The class the descriptions are really vague always in this game. So yeah, that's the class. That's what it does. That's what it's doing. You don't really need a DPS meter for this because it's not going to be doing a lot. I'm sure with forge enhancements and stuff, you could potions and all that jazz, you might be able to make it look a little bit more spiffy than I'm making it look. But I this is like default forge stuff. Nothing fancy except for smite. And yeah, you can see it's doing very pitiful DPS for single target damage. It's not amazing. I mean, okay, so to be fair, if we were reflecting damage with the force skill, that would be a bit more. But like I said, most enemies don't really do that much damage back at you. So yeah, if you show up to an ultra boss with this class, people are gonna laugh at you and tell you to swap. If you are grinding mobs, this is not gonna be the fastest way to grind a boss or multi-target because it's not multi-target. Yeah, worth a 2KC. I wouldn't spend it unless you really just want the class for messing around with PvP. And even then, with the new PvP health trinkets, I feel like I'm just repeating myself at this point, but it's not going to be that great considering the cap it has on the reflect damage. That cap hurt it back in the day. It's going to hurt it even more now. So that's my thoughts on this class in the current state it's in 2022. It's one of my favorite classes, or at least it was back then for PvP. I would not recommend buying it now. But if you're getting the 10k chest, it's included with that anyway, and I would recommend trying it out. If you do get the 10k chest in PvP, it could be fun if you're not going against ultra sweat lords in PvP. I imagine PvP these days is kind of odd in this game with all the forge enhancements and stuff. I imagine people are getting melted very quickly in that mode. I imagine it's the least balanced it's ever been with all the overpowered classes and stuff. Trying to use an old class like this, yeah, you're gonna get absolutely murdered. But anyway, that's my thoughts of the class. Let me know your thoughts on the class in the comments if they're different than mine, or if you have any unique situations where the class shines in. I'd love to read that in the comments because I can't think of any, and to me it's always just been like a mess around PvP class. I don't think it's ever even been the best PvP class, but yeah. So this class will be available for 2KSC in the Black Friday chest coming up soon. So if you want to get it, it's available there. If you have the extra ACs, burn a hole in your pocket. I know, to be fair, there's nothing really to spend ACs in this game ever on. I keep buying them, and I hardly ever spend them. So, yeah, maybe you want to spend one on a class anyway, so better than nothing, I guess. And, well, could be better spent than, like, a cosmetic armor for a similar price. So, yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and have a good one. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and check if you're subscribed. Sometimes it unsubscribes you on YouTube. It's kind of weird. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace. I tried to get into the Doomwood Arena for a 1v1, and it seems like the arena queue is not popping, so you probably have to like go find a player and be like, hey, you want a 1v1 me? If you want to actually PvP in this game now. So yeah, back in the day, you could just go to Doomwood Arena and 1v1's the one. Guess you can't do that these days, or at least at the time when I'm trying to do it in the Arctic server. So yeah, maybe I gotta try a different server. Anyway, peace.